Well, this is going to be a fantastic opening for Will Harries, but coming from the clouds, trying to wrap him up is Sinatla. Wow, what happened there?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming by. Today, you and I are going to look at another rugby video, but before we do, I just wanted to take some time to say thank you to everyone who's watched any of my videos up to this point, or if you're watching now. I recently reached 10,000 subscribers on my channel, and I started a few months ago, and I'm just amazed and grateful for all of you out there who have taken the time to watch. I started this channel basically as a challenge to myself because I've never done anything with video. I've not ever spoken in front of a camera, so it was just sort of a challenge, and I hoped that perhaps what I make might be of interest to others, but I really had no idea if that would be the case or not, and I've been kind of overwhelmed by people. But all you guys who have out there have taken the time to watch, taken times out of your life, your day to comment, and it really means a lot. I really had no idea if anyone would be interested in watching, and I'm really grateful that so many have, and I appreciate it very much. I just wanted to let you know that. So today is going to be 15 outrageous try-saving tackles from the YouTube channel called Andrew Ford, and instead of the like one-on-one high contact collisions we've seen in the past, I'm guessing this is more. When it says try-saving tackles, I would imagine it's going to be more of players running down other players and making tackles at the last moment. So that should be interesting. And so anyway, once again, thank you, and let's take a look at 15 outrageous try-saving tackles.
Wales, no! The run for the line for Williams! He tried to slide over to North, and for all money you think he's slid in brilliantly, but Underhill slides himself and uses his strength.
He looked, I mean, he almost, he didn't tackle him in the traditional sense, he just like used that right arm to flip him. See, this is a significant thing between rugby and football, American football, because I believe since he took him out of bounds, the ball changes possession. If that happened in American football, he would have been out of bounds at maybe the 1 inch line or something, and they would have had another play. It wouldn't have been change of possession. It would have been just like a formality of needing one more play to cover that little bit of ground. But I think in rugby, since he took him out of bounds, the whole thing is it changes possession. I think.
A certain try.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he just that's
just gets on top of Scott Williams' legs, drags him to the touchline. He's in, Scott's in there, but the momentum of Underhill just carries his legs over the line. That's a great tackle.
So hands it to Aaron Smith. This worked in the first half. Oh, brilliant catch.
I know that guy.
Colby's away, one-on-one against Richie Mo'unga. Colby, pace for the line. What a solo effort and what a tackle by Mo'unga.
That's amazing. I made a video on Cheslin Kolbe and just how quick he is, just how good he is, just how seldom he gets caught, I would guess, in a situation like that. That was amazing. The one, it looked like it was against the All Blacks. I saw the black uniform. And the defender did have the advantage of kind of being able to use the sideline as like a defender because Kolbe couldn't go either way. But still, the fact that the patience, and then the ability to close that gap against Cheslin Kolbe is crazy.
It's more Hallwell. Dombrandt, one hand, he's on his own momentarily, but he waited to give the ball away to Kerr, and Kerr being chased down by de Klerk.
Oh, he's held him up.
He's held him up. Brilliant job.
Wait,
I think he's been turned, and this is what I love about these head-to-heads.
Just running them, mate.
Faf de Klerk, he was always getting there, and he's done a brilliant job. The moment he sees Danny Kerr, there's no way he wants him.
Right there. Now, I always feel a bit guilty to talk so much, but I do have a question because this might be a very significant thing to learn. I know de Klerk, I know how fun he is to watch and how amazing he is. But I also know that you can keep going. So my question is, and this is a good part about the need, the difference in rugby to actually put the ball down for it to count. Now, Faith de Klerk rolled him over. The ball had not made contact with what I call the end zone. I don't know what it's called in rugby. Now, if de Klerk had rolled him over again and allowed him to roll over and the ball touched the ground, would that have been a try? Like, because it looked like de Klerk, like, took him down, kind of rolled, and then planted his feet, so the guy had to be there and couldn't make that quarter rotation more and put the ball down. That's a really interesting thing. I don't know if I interpreted that correctly, but that's an interesting part of the game. Very different than American football, where the ball just has to cross the goal line, doesn't have to touch the ground.
Scoring more than anyone else on the pitch. Brilliant bit of defensive play.
And the ball is held up throughout.
No more angles.
Outstanding.
Thank you very much. No tries, strong five.
3 points up. Attacking with 15 against 14 still. Men out there now. And Haskell is through. Richie Gray tries to seize him. Then it's Ashton. Supports. Ben Foden. And Patterson trying to take him. Foden.
And who's
Wow.
on hand again, the ubiquitous Ashton. Textbook round the ankles. Made all
Yeah, man, he covered a lot of ground.
Tremendous work.
Once again, maybe a change of possession.
And Wilson. Oh, that is a save by Guigan as Wilson went for the match-winning try. Little George Guigan.
Yeah, I think it looked like, I couldn't tell, but it looked like he knocked the ball out. The defender knocked the ball out, which it seems like he would have had to, because otherwise the guy would have had the ball in his hands right now, and it would have been a try. So he must have known, because it was at the last possible second. I didn't see his hand hit the ball, but it sure must have, because it came out like that.
Knocked it out of his hands, and Laurie Mains.
Oh yeah, there it was, with his left hand.
They've got men over here. That's a great break. Popped over the top. That looks as though he's forward. What an attack from Fiji. Another attack. The ball's under the wrong arm. That's the problem. He's out. He's out.
This is crazy compared to American football. You can really see the differences on this one, because in American football, that would have been a touchdown. Even though he didn't touch it down, it would have been still a touchdown, because, you know, the ball in possession of the guy crossed the plane of, like, if you put the goal line here and extend up like a pane of glass, you know, it crossed that. But in this, he didn't get it down on the ground, even though the ball is in the end zone or the scoring zone, whatever. I don't know what it's called in rugby, but it doesn't count until he puts the ball down, and that's the significance of that. Because at first I used to watch and I used to see him dive and score, or just run and put the ball down, and I thought it was kind of a formality. But now I see the whole point of it, the whole reason, and how it affects the game. Because if this guy didn't get the ball down, plus he's taken out of bounds, that's I think that's change of possession, which is significant.
Oh, there's no try. Great defence, Peterson. How important was that tackle? Just the ball under the wrong arm from the big man.
Well, it was under the wrong arm, but he got that. It looked like he got that pass and didn't have a lot of time. I guess he could have put it into the left arm, but it wasn't like he was running down the sidelines with it in the wrong arm. Oh boy, that's a lot of stuff going on here.
It was a small winger up against one of the biggest men on the field, Iferemi Rawanga of South Africa. Oh, my goodness gracious me, it didn't touch the ground at all, did it?
And North Harbour on their own 22. Here's Boddicker probing. And he's got away too. Now, can he find anybody? He's looking, but there's no one in sight. He's still going. This could be one of the best individual tries you'll ever see. Can he make it? Wow.
I beauty.
Like he said, you know, usually guys have trailers. I don't know what they're called, but they have teammates trailing behind them to take the pass if needed. But that guy, whatever reason, got out there, I guess, so quickly that no one was there.
Tremendous.
Just let me know when you're there at the screen, Chris.
Out of bounds. See, he's out of bounds there. In American football, out of bounds, they'd have the team with the ball would have a fresh set of downs, they would be called, from, you know, this far away from the scoring zone. But this, whole different world if it changes possession.
Oh, the foot's out, isn't it?
No, it is too.
He hasn't got it down yet.
You reckon? Yeah, the foot's on the line.
He hasn't got the ball down yet.
You've got to give it to him, don't you?
Maybe a chance out wide, being shipped on. Scarrett to Pocock. Pocock, now let's see the pace of the left winger. Starting to go
This is women's.
Good running from Pocock. One to beat now. Oh, what a hit going in there.
Past the 15, but it's the covering winger, I think, who makes this excellent hit.
The girl with the ball, at least she had, it looks like she had a tiny split second to see that girl coming so she could maybe, I don't know what she would do, prepare herself for the impact in some way. So that's good. It wasn't completely blind. But the cool thing is I liked when she went down after such a tough hit, you could see it in the first time. When she went down so hard, she just like tossed the ball, popped up, ready to go. There wasn't any, you know, there wasn't any hesitation, just like, let's keep this game going.
Look at that.
In goes Wilson. Cruden, one of the smallest, if not the smallest, on the park, and Corey James drops it.
Through the legs.
And he should go here. Tuilangi's got Mike Brown with him. Across comes Ben Smith. Tuilangi needs to see him off with a big handoff. Good tackle by Ben Smith. Brilliant from the fullback.
Wow.
Ben Smith was brilliant in front of his home crowd there. Tuilangi wanted him to come high. He wanted to defend him, but Ben Smith was quite brilliant there.
See, I don't know the rule quite exactly when it comes to being able, you know, in American football, once again, once that guy's down, he stays down, and that's the end of the play. But I think in rugby, you know, unless you stop a guy, they can continue on. And this guy brought him down from the side after closing that gap, and then like flipped over in front of him to block him, it looks like, which is an even more impressive play.
He waited, he made the tackle, he's on his feet. Try saving defence there.
Well, this is going to be a fantastic opening for Will Harries, but coming from the clouds, trying to wrap him up is Sanatla. Wow, what happened there? The touch judge, the assistant on this near side, has got the flag up. Whoa, what about the double tackle from Sanatla?
Have a look on the face. He was as surprised
he
as
was
anywhere.
surprised
Watch the touch judge in the background.
that
He
guy was
stops,
there.
he overbalances. Whoa, I'll let you sort that out.
Look at the tigerish commitment of these Japanese defenders. Russell goes wide. Space finally for Seymour, and look at the tackle from...
That guy looked like he had a lot of space, you know, but I guess he had to hesitate a bit to catch the pass, and the other guy was, the defender was already on the move, so that gap got closed very quickly.
Oromaru, for all money, Seymour looked to be home and hosed. The Japanese fullback had other ideas.
Here's a tackle. Finn Russell knows the space is out.
See,
Look
right
at that.
there.
He's got 15 metres got Amaru.
It's deceptive.
Not only does he make the tackle, he has the power to drive Seymour into tackle.
It's deceptive, the space he looked like he had, because not only did he get driven out of bounds, he got driven out of bounds, you know, well in front of that pylon there, like, you know, a meter or two, I'm not sure. But it wasn't really even that close. The guy caught him so quick.
Young Welsh flanker, Ross Moriarty. Now this is a nicely weighted kick going early after it was Dunshee. And here's a straight ahead. Now he's got support if he needs it. And he gets support from Finau sliding.
That's really...
Can't get it down. Referee goes on the...
That play is interesting for me because I'm learning this game, and I've never seen, in the highlights I've seen, I've never seen when it comes down to like the guy with the ball against that last guy, the guy with the ball, because usually what I've seen are incredible scoring things, and it's so hard to make this tackle if the guy's got the full speed coming to you and you're kind of left there. But that guy did make the tackle. And not only that, but he was able to get the pass off, and the other guy made the tackle because it looked like the other defender was like sort of trailing the guy next to the guy with the ball, knowing that a pass could come. So in like in American football, in that situation, that second defender would have been zeroing in on the guy with the ball because there wouldn't have been the possibility, or there'd be very little possibility that the ball would be passed. But this guy had to maintain sort of responsibility on the guy he was following. And fortunately, he got the pass and his guy was tackled by him. That's a pretty cool thing.
As well. Ran him down from behind, timed the tackle perfectly, but turned him and got his body underneath it and his hands
Oh,
around
there,
the ball,
turned him body underneath. That does
is number 8 play at its very, very best.
Another really cool thing to learn that I've learned about the significance of getting that ball on the ground. He, like you said, the announcers got on his back, turned him, and so the ball was far from the ground.
Come down. And that's the side they do come down, and Mapapalangi gets that nicely away to Fayanu. Again, it's Maloof in field. Instead, it's Robson, and Robson hairs past the stricken Daly. Tate's coming across. Robson! Oh, what? That was unbelievable.
That's amazing.
Makes the offload.
That's amazing.
He reads it really well at this point here.
Like right there, you know, I wonder what sort of calculations go on in the brain for that guy to know the angle he's going to take. You know, he's got to take an angle. He's got to take an angle that ends up him getting to the guy with the ball before the line comes, but he can't take too drastic of an angle because he won't get him. It's just, imagine the calculations that are going through to just figure out that exact angle to pursue.
That's a try, but Tate's got him angled up. He turns on the gas in the last few yards. One of the best try-saving tackles I've ever seen. And to be honest, I made quite a few.
2 minutes of red time, and still Scotland have an outside chance. Russell can't quite free himself. Not held. Back to his feet and slips it out to Duan van der Merwe. And Duan van der Merwe, that tackle, tries to get right at Hogg, but knock on.
But the tracking by Watkin
to get
just
there finger on the heel of the guy.
Effort.
That's all.
Brilliant effort.
Because he's done that because what's happened is, just watch, he gets him.
Now Genia off to Cooper. Intercept. Now here's a chance. This could go all the way for Tommy Bowe. They're flying after him. O'Connor's going to run him down by the looks of things. And a great tackle.
I wonder, because that guy, the yellow jersey, way down the other side of the field, try to pass behind the back. I don't know how accepted that is in rugby. If it's like, you know, don't risk a behind the back pass, or if it's sort of part of the game. But man, he hit, that pass got intercepted, and I bet while that guy was while his teammates were running this guy down, he was thinking, save me from the wrath of my mistaken behind the back pass. That's what, you know, like I said, I don't know how that's looked upon in rugby, if it's looked at as like sort of don't take the risk, or, you know, I'm sure it's needed sometimes, but it's just a funny thing that happened there.
He lays it back.
We're done. You know, because like in basketball, you know, not long ago, 50, 60 years ago, if you threw a pass behind the back, you know, the coach would say, that's for the playground. That's not real basketball. And then, you know, people get better and got better, and now it's used when it's needed, and it's not like looked upon as trying to be overly flashy. It's just part of the game. I wonder how the behind the back pass in rugby is perceived, because there have to be times when it's absolutely needed if you're going to get the pass off. But it doesn't look like it's done all that often. In fact, that's the only time I've seen it done unsuccessfully. I've seen it done a few times on other compilations where it works perfectly, and it looks like that's the only way the guy could have got that pass to his teammate. But anyway, that was interesting. That was a lot of stuff. I learned a lot in this video, and I learned the significance of having to touch, football. In American football, they call it a touchdown, but you don't have to touch it down. And so now I know why in rugby it is significant that the ball has to touch, because you can save a lot of scores by keeping that guy, in a position where he can't turn into the field and touch the ball down. It's amazing. This was a good thing. This was a really cool thing about a lot to learn in this one. Anyway, if you liked it, subscribe, please. Like, comment. Once again, thank you for all the support. I'm amazed. I'm appreciative of it. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you later.